These probably aren't the ways the developers wanted us to play. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 games players love to break.
Hi! This is big, huh? A very big moment.
For this list, we'll be looking at those games that have unique qualities or mechanics in them that can be exploited, resulting in ways to play the game that weren't intended. Whether it's a mechanical glitch, boundary break, or sequence break, it's eligible for this list.
What can stop you if you fight together?
Number 10, Fallout New Vegas.
Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Bethesda titles were bound to show up on this list. First up is New Vegas. Whether players want infinite bottle caps, experience, or fame, there's a way to do it in-game without mods or cheats. Most of them aren't even complicated or tricky to pull off.
Howdy, partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Take the infinite money glitch for example. All you have to do is buy one of an item that is sold twice at the lower value and sell it back to the vendor. Do this over and over again until you bleed the vendor dry.
In there. Take it slow now. It ain't a race.
Number 9, Jurassic Park Trespasser.
Shots. Heavier than I thought. So that's what that feels like.
There was a time before this game's release that had people losing their minds about how revolutionary this was going to be. The scope was huge, and the hype was real. It did get the attention it expected, but unfortunately, not for the right reasons. The game is a buggy mess, and provided a lot of opportunity for players to exploit.
My name is John Parker Hammond. I was born on March 14th, 1928.
Oh no.
You essentially perform all actions with a bendy, non-responsive arm that flops around, and the dinosaurs you face off against seem to have the same problem with their legs, meaning you can run circles around them and they won't know how to move. Easy kills.
Oh man. He really did it.
Number 8, Destiny 2.
They have the lead, but the match isn't over. You captured Zone C.
All it takes is for one weapon to be deemed overpowered or glitched, and the whole game and community changes. Take the recent Dawnblade glitch for example. It allows the super to go on indefinitely as long as you continue to hit the button, and all you need to do is swap out your current weapon before you activate it. Or, there was a time where the exotic Prometheus lens was the new meta, literally incinerating enemies in seconds. Everyone had to get their hands on one.
What can stop you if you fight together?
Number 7, Mario Kart 64.
I'm the best!
What is it with Mario games and their ability to ruin friendships? Now, most people may call the Rainbow Road shortcut an exploit, but can it not just be classed as a skill? I mean, it's not necessarily an easy thing to do. Okay, maybe it is. The jump skips most of the track, allowing players that took advantage of it to complete the race well ahead of opponents. It's a universally known skip that's brought up before every race as to whether or not it's allowed. Number 6, EVE Online.
It's time to engage. Fire your weapons.
This particular entry has been around for a long while now and has maintained a fairly large player base. With its lifespan, brought a plethora of glitches and exploits that players had taken advantage of.
Captain, I had calculated your combat odds to be within an acceptable level of safety.
Some allowed gamers to dish out major damage, with one infamous example allowing players to track enemies with an infinite range, causing short-range weaponry to be effective hundreds of kilometers away, which griefed many other players. There are no signs of EVE's lifespan coming to an end, which means new exploits and glitches with each update are bound to surface.
Great job, Captain.
Number 5, World of Warcraft.
Some rather large and hostile wildlife has wandered onto the field. The hunt is on!
With the previous entry, we've seen how certain exploits can have a negative impact on other players in PvP situations. World of Warcraft is no different. Most of them stemmed from broken mechanics that allowed players to deal insane amounts of damage. Over the years, Blizzard has banned a ton of accounts that tried these unorthodox methods, but that didn't stop a lot of people from continuing to use them. WoW is also home to the biggest griefing exploit of all time with the corrupted Blood Plague incident, an exploit that spread like a pandemic and got so out of hand, Blizzard had to restart the servers. Well, that's one way to break a game, I guess. Number 4. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Here, we have a huge open world map that is a gamer's playground. With so many different ways to play and a ton of exploiting to do, it's impossible to not discover ways to cheekily help you on your journey. Hell, at times, it almost feels like the game is challenging the players to break it. Some have though, like being able to create a flying machine with a Death Mountain minecart. Speedrunners have also found ways to launch themselves across the entire map by using the stasis rune on boulders or trees. Honestly, with how many exploits are being discovered each day, we're wondering when they'll start to run out. Number 3. Civilization series. The world's your oyster when it comes to exploits in the Civilization series. Literally. While the devs are proactive in fixing these, there was a time when you could break the entire world economy. In Civ 6, for example, there was a glitch in where the AI traders would bargain against deals you made in your favor. Yup, they would turn down your deal and ask for something of less value than you had originally offered.
Excellent. The skills these builders will attain will dramatically improve our civilization.
Also, who could forget that time Gandhi became mad with power and didn't hesitate to launch nukes? That makes me laugh every single time. Number 2. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim.
Hey!
You know how we said there are generally ways not intended to play? Well, there are so many bugs and exploits in Skyrim, we just aren't sure anymore. From infinitely leveling up skills, to generating insane amounts of gold, overpowering any enemy, and infinitely casting magic, this particular entry deserves a list of its own.
Oh, no mistake at all. What you made was a choice. Granted, not a very wise choice, but these things happen.
A couple of our favorite exploits are putting baskets on NPCs' heads and stealing things right in front of them, and glitching out of Whiterun to get access to the Skyforge's item chest.
You've headed down the path of dreams. Unfortunately for you, Pelagius suffered night terrors from a young age.
Before we continue, just a quick shout out to the strategy dystopian mobile game Arknights, where the major update Heart of Surging Flame has officially started. Players will kick off the event by choosing their favorite artists out of the 3 and claim the corresponding free gifts after finishing the milestone tasks. Explore a new music festival and see 2 new operators, Schwartz and Ceylon, along with multiple swimsuit character skins and furniture sets. Players who play the event stages can also redeem in-game resources from the event capsule machine for free, which is a perfect chance to collect items and develop their accounts. So don't miss out. Number 1. Soulsborne series. Where do we begin? The series' non-linearity and PvP are prime picks for exploits. New ways to break the games and troll other players are still being discovered to this day. It's also a speedrunner's paradise. One of the most prominent skips in the first Dark Souls shaves off hours of playtime, allowing you to get into Sense Fortress way before you normally would. There are also a ton of different ways to absolutely obliterate bosses, making a usually nail-biting difficult game a cakewalk. In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.